noises behind me.
Hey y'all, this is Ryan Monso, and this is Cats, the Cougar Afterthought Show. That's Brad Towns. Up in the right-hand corner is Star Pizza. Star Pizza is a great group of people. They have great products, good food, amazing people. Go visit them. You're going to have all day tomorrow. And do you want to be thinking about this crap? No. Go enjoy yourself. Have a good day.
Recovery pizza, really
Recovery
good
pizza.
pasta, nice salads, a good choice for all around. Desserts, delicious through the roof.
At the start of the year, you were saying to carb up. You've changed your stance on this a little bit,
Well,
but go carb up.
I only changed it because nature told me I had to. So
Is my volume okay? My sound?
it's burping again.
Ah, damn it.
That's what
Okay. Well,
Mac told us.
Brad's gonna do this whole show by himself. Y'all have a good time.
Good work, Roy. All right, let's get into well, we lost, what was it, 20-10? I don't fucking know. I stopped paying attention, guys. I'm sure most everybody kind of lost interest knowing that once we're down 2 scores, it's kind of tough for us to have much hope. For those who have been asking why we don't throw the ball more, I think your answer is pretty clear for the last 2 weeks why we don't throw the ball more.
Hey, Brad, am I still burping?
You were there.
I have no idea. No clue. Sorry about that, guy.
But yeah, it's just another bad night. I'm at a loss. I don't know why we got away from just trying to run the ball and protect it. I mean, the more it seemed like we're trying to please too many people. I don't know. I don't know why we're throwing the ball as much as we are. I would rather just go 3 and out, try to run the damn thing, because you got to. At least you're not going to throw an interception. I know that. So
you act like there was a lot of turnovers.
I came to the University of Houston in 1994, and I've been around in one way or another ever since. And literally, I cannot think of watching a worse offense. And guys, I suffered through the Dana Dimmel era and the Kim Helton era. I saw some really bad offenses. I saw some really, really, really rough rosters. I don't know if I've seen talent this below par, and I don't think I've seen an offense as bad as this. I mean, there might be. I think you wrote a story about our 1995 offense. I think was that the one with O'Shea,
Clay
quarterback?
Helton, yeah, O'Shea, Helton, Chuck Clements,
yeah, freshman Chuck Clements.
Yeah. How about this? Just got my acceptance letter to U of H yesterday.
Hey, welcome.
Can you play quarterback? Jasmine,
please try out.
Yeah,
You'll get a shot. Trust me. It's open tryouts this spring.
You had 9 drives tonight.
Really?
4 resulted in turnover. 1, you missed the field goal, and 5 punts.
Honestly, when we got the ball, I was just scrolling through my phone to see if anything else was going on.
How'd that go?
I don't know. I saw Oklahoma take the lead on Alabama. It looks like they've expanded.
It was 28-3 last I saw, I think. Jasmine says, no, unfortunately not. Jasmine, you have a year to figure out the quarterback position. And if you could, just find a YouTube video, maybe learn, you might just get that whole school paid for. And then there's NIL.
Let's go to the comments.
Well, that's all we've been doing, Brad.
Let's see here. Did you talk about did you get one from Dizzy? I hadn't seen that name before.
No, go ahead. What you got?
Spencer Tillman keeps calling Michael Batten Michael Bolton. I think Michael Batten would laugh at that. I think he would laugh.
If Michael Batten knows who Michael Bolton is, because that is a pretty dated reference.
That is true.
I think he would. I think he had 10 tackles in the first half.
Yeah.
They were targeting him. Hershey McLaurin had 11 tonight.
They were definitely targeting him on running the seam, tried to get right over the top of him. And you know what? He did get roasted, but he made up space. And two of the 3 catches he gave up, 2 of them were really, really good catches.
Right. And then he got to the ball carrier after he got beat.
Yeah.
Which doesn't always happen. He made that effort.
Let's see here. Let me keep going down.
Well, let's stop with the comments for just a second and talk about some of the things you saw tonight.
Okay.
The first drive, Jeremiah Wilson intercepts the ball, and I believe he was tackled by one of his teammates, which might have been the only reason he didn't score twice. You get the ball. Zion Chris made a nice play to get that inside the 10. And then a throw that I have not seen him make in practice, let alone a game. I'm going to tell you, I think I've been to 26 of 27. No, excuse me. It had been 32 of 33 practices. I have not seen him make that throw from one hash to the far side of the field. I haven't seen him make the throw. I don't think he has the arm strength, and he also it's off the back foot. It just go ahead.
I don't care what quarterback you are. I don't like that throw. I like that throw one step less than the jump ball to the corner. I would much rather try to get something, I don't know, a little dig route, something that's moving players. But that's just you have to be perfect on that throw. You have to be perfect. And then if you're going to throw from the far hash, you better have a cannon.
You and I commented on this throw when Kevin Cobb was doing it.
Yeah, and that kid
had the arm, right? He had the arm to do it, and it still was. I mean, from the 10-yard line, that's a 30-yard throw.
Yeah,
and the depth perception doesn't work, and it's such a bad idea, and it was a bad throw and a bad decision. And frankly, it shouldn't even be a route in this offense.
Well,
it certainly should not be a route you call here.
You cannot call plays or you cannot ask a player to do something where he has to be perfect to execute it, unless they've proven that they can be perfect in executing that. And nobody on this team has done that. And especially not in the quarterback. I mean, the quarterback room, I would be surprised if they completed 50% of the passes with nobody on the field except for them and the receivers. I mean, in what the hell?
Close.
What the hell happened on the delay of game coming out of a dead ball? How did that's? I mean, that's one thing we bitched about for 25 years. I don't know how that. I don't know how that happens. The future.
Yeah. I'm gonna. There is nothing that pisses me off more than just absolute brain dead bullshit. Like taking a delay. It changes possession. You take a delay coming from a kick. Everybody knows where they're supposed to be. They're all huddled together. You have the play called. What is happening? How could you possibly do that? Baylor took a delay game late in the game that made absolutely no sense. But it was 10 times better than doing it coming out of a fucking change of possession.
Yeah.
I have that written down 3 times on my notepad. Like that's how pissed off I was. I just kept writing it down.
Well, because it's unbelievable. I mean, we had the same reaction, and this isn't biased on anyone. We had the same reaction last year and the year before that. I mean, this was a common thing in virtually every game. We either got to delay a game or we had to call timeout coming out of a timeout.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I guess Jeremiah Wilson's your player of the game. I guess there's not really a second place. If I had to give a second place, you know who I'd give it to? Liam Doherty. That's how bad this was. They averaged 47 tonight.
I mean, was the wind blowing?
The wind was blowing TV wise right to left towards the new facility. Right to left. And it was pretty hard pregame. Hard to tell as much during the game, but it obviously was blowing.
It says we only had 2 sacks in the UH stats, but I could have sworn we had at least 4.
The U of H defense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought McCutcheon had 2 for some reason.
They struggled with stat broadcast early in the game. It wasn't working.
Yeah.
And who knows if they got it all together, but I don't really know.
Yeah, I mean, the defensive line, they struggled early, but then they made adjustments in the second half, and I thought played really, really well.
Yeah. I have nothing bad to say about this defense. They kind of got bullied in the first half. Baylor had 2 80-yard drives. One was 11 plays, one was 14 plays. And I mean, they were pushing U of H's stuff in a little bit, but they rallied. They figured it out, and Baylor had 325 yards, and I think 150 were on those 2 drives. Right. And I mean, how many times can you give up the damn ball to them? And I mean, they gave it up to you 3 times. Not impressed with Sawyer Robertson as a quarterback tonight. Baylor had 12 possessions. U of H had 9. That's how much the turnovers messed you up. And U of H's best possession was the pick 6, and that doesn't even count.
Oh, and as much as I wasn't impressed with their quarterback, I would take him in a heartbeat at least for a couple of games.
Yeah. Why not? You have gone 8 quarters and 2.5 minutes without scoring an offensive touchdown. And it's not the first time that's happened this year. It's hard to put into words how bad this has been. And I have been patient and, but it's just time to call it what it is. It's bad. And there's no I don't think Zion can be your quarterback next year.
I don't know
I
if he
just
can.
don't.
I don't know if he can or not. But he's going to have to. I've been thinking about this, and our what's his name? McMichael will be back.
Yeah.
Healed up from surgery, from injury. And then you'll have Austin Carlisle coming in. I would assume with the guys that we have running out of eligibility, we'll probably pick up somebody in the portal, you would think.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to be someone you target as a starter or someone who can, be an emergency backup or what. But I don't know. I'll say this. I would be very surprised if they held an open spring and gave everybody a real shot at earning the job.
You'd be surprised or not surprised?
No, I'd be surprised I'd be shocked if Chris won the job.
Oh, okay. So you'd be surprised if they held it open and Zion Chris won it.
Yeah, I mean, if it's an open competition, I don't think he wins it.
Okay.
And there's no injuries.
And there's a lot to be said about offensive line here. This offensive line is not good. This is
at all.
The legacy of Dana Holgerson is the offensive line. They can't protect Donovan, Zion. I don't know what you do because everybody's going to be going after those guys in the portal. So you can't just go get them.
They struggled to protect the quarterback last year, and that's with a second-round draft pick or third round, whatever he ended up going at tackle.
Well, that was at tackle, yeah.
Yeah, and Tyler Johnson on the line as well. I mean, he's starting for Colorado now. But, I mean, you had two really good offensive linemen and a seasoned center that was, 6-year center. And then this year you're using their backups. And if you got a bad offensive line last year with quality players and that comes back this year and you're using their backups, not good. So anybody that's got offensive linemen that want to come on down, we're more than welcome to have you.
Can Manjack be a quarterback? I don't know if you saw that throw that Manjack whipped across the field.
It was an interesting fadeaway 40-yarder.
Yeah. And I'm sure he would talk mess about that as much as we will. Thankfully, it worked for U of H because had somebody jumped in front of that, they would have had 40 yards between them and whoever else was whoever else on U of H was come at him. Comment, Barbe has to go. So sick of watching heroic defensive efforts wasted on this pathetic offense, and 90% of it is a quarterback problem. Sounds cliche, but it's true. It's easy to put this on Zion Chris fully, but it's not. And where football is right now, they don't tackle in practice, and they don't come after the quarterback, and so you don't really get a real example of what you're going to get in a game. They never see it in practice, and even if you just didn't hit the quarterback, there's really no full speed, take people to the ground situations in practice. You just don't have the depth in the roster to do it. Now, I don't know if Willie would do that at all, even if they did. A lot of coaches don't. Georgia's really the only team that I know that really tackles every week in practice. So, is it Chris or the play calling? Who needs to go? I don't know if anybody needs to go.
We talk about Chris. We talk about Donovan. Donovan struggled last year. I mean, he looked no different the last 5 games last year than he did this year.
Now that was an injury. From after Baylor on,
he must have stayed injured this year because he was he was just as bad.
He was not good. and I noticed it in fall ball. It was like, uh-oh.
I don't know. I don't know if it's the coaching or not, but I do know one thing that is absolutely true. The quality is, I don't remember seeing quarterbacks this bad. God,
Nick Eddy and Kelly Robertson. I mean, that comes to
maybe.
mind.
Yeah, maybe.
2012.
Well, I mean, at
What I
least,
remember about 2012 is that you had three guys throw a pick six in that SMU game where they
well,
scored
but
72
you could
points.
at least say that when Broadway and Pyland were called on to be quarterback that year, they had just stepped on campus from high school.
Was that 2010? I think that was 2010.
Yeah.
I'm talking 2012, Levine's first year.
Who's quarterback then?
I don't know.
Gerald
You
Ford?
lost to Southwest Texas State. No, he came in 2013.
Pyland was. Pyland was. Unfortunately, his eggs were scrambled by then. Poor kid.
Poor kid.
I say poor kid. He's an old man now. Like us.
Jasmine, I got all my UH blue gear and can't wait for the university experience. I'm a softball player. Welcome to U of H. It's really cool to see people coming in and be excited about it.
Yeah. It's a good time to be here.
Absolute great time to be at the University of Houston.
This sucks right now, but we're gonna have to go through. You got to go through this. This is part of.
There would be growing pains.
I went back on our forum and I looked at the preseason predictions, and we have, out of about 30 predictions, I think over half of them are 3 to 4 wins. The rest of them are like idiots like me who just said, "Oh, we're going to make a bowl."
Yeah, not quite. I think the offense has gotten worse, but I mean, think about UNLV and then OU, and then you had the 2-game shutout streak, and then TCU happens, and how does that even happen? TCU looked like a world beater today.
Yeah.
And then you go to Kansas and lay an egg and turn Kansas into a real program.
They become a juggernaut.
Yeah, and then the stat today was they have beaten 3 consecutive AP top 25 teams with a losing record. No one's ever done that. That is insanity. And they played Kansas State close in the game before that, and then U of H lost in a nail biter at Arrowhead. And then you do enough against Utah and Kansas State, but you really didn't do much. And then last week's crapper in this one. Stats by Starnes. You've now played 2 Houston Blue games. Your offense has scored 3 touchdowns in 2 games. Or excuse me, 2 touchdowns in 2 games. Didn't score any today. It's not the blue uniforms, but
we're going to.
At
least we were close.
Not 0-2. You beat UTSA in the opener last year, 17-13.
Oh yeah.
Against that kid in the wheelchair, Frank Wilson.
That's right.
Yeah,
but I was talking about this today, and I posted it earlier, that the roster that we have right now would still finish 3rd in the AAC and or it might finish lower than 3rd in the AAC right now this year, and they would probably finish 3rd in the MWC, because we already. I mean, you ain't beating Boise, and obviously you got your stool pushed against UNLV.
Is you're saying you think they could be as high as 3rd or 4th? Because I don't see that as being remotely possible.
I,
What?
yeah, and they would be no higher than third. Is what I'm saying. It could be. They could be. This team could be lower. The amount of with the talent that we have right now.
After last week, you had scored 140 points in 10 games, which is 14 points a game, and that's coming down after this 10-point nothing. It says I'm burping again. I apologize, guys. I really don't know. I've tried everything. My technology sucks, and I suck at it. It's part of a bigger issue, but the tight ends are easily the most disappointing part of this offense after spring and fall camp. York has been non-existent all year. Carr not much better. That's because they're running 12 personnel all the time and keeping both into block. What they wanted to do with tight ends and how they brought in York and Carr was to say we're going to have this really awesome tight end focused offense. But they really haven't been able to do that.
No.
Because you have to keep them in to block. And even with the two tight ends, it's not very good.
No. I mean, you need you got pretty much you got to stay in max protect.
Yeah. And tonight, Carr, I think he caught 2 balls. One of them, he fumbled, and it looked like he was pushing the ball to the defender. But then he has those massive hands and pulled it in. So, yeah. Jeremiah Wilson has been really good. And I don't think he's gotten the credit that he deserves. You've seen A.J. Halsey get some national attention. But Jeremiah Wilson really hasn't, and I think he should. And certainly after tonight, he'll get some.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can't really fault. I've seen some really good play on defense all year long, and they still look like they're improving. I mean, lapses here and there, but it's going to happen. The defense has zero margin for error, and the one thing that has been impressed with me is they're not trying to do too much. Sometimes they do. They still get caught over pursuit, but I mean, I think that's just their aggressive nature. Like a couple of the big gainers, Halsey over pursued a little bit on it, and they got an angle on him. He was able to catch up to him, but it just cost him 6 or 7 yards. But they're doing a good job of focusing on what they do and not trying to make up for the catastrophe going in the other group.
The other group meaning offense?
Yeah.
Okay. You haven't been good on special teams either. And that's been the most surprising thing to me about this team is how mediocre to bad you have been on special teams. You punted the ball very well today. You had a couple penalties. You had the fumble late in the game. You missed a field goal down here. You had some mistakes that I just would not have expected that to be the situation with Willie, who focuses so much and spends so much time on special teams.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's always. I mean, as soon as I saw Muse break that punt, I knew it was coming back.
Okay.
I mean, I knew there was going to be a penalty. Anytime that we get a break on special teams, that there's a penalty. It was caused by a penalty, or at least it'll be called a penalty.
Willie, in the press conference, Willie Fritz says this loss motivates him more, but his body language looked defeated and dumbfounded. I can't see his body language where I'm from. I know he jumped the refs a couple different times. One especially on where they said Muse called for a fair catch, and he clearly did not. So I don't know if the TV broadcast showed that or in the stadium people were able to see that. But I didn't see it. I'm not necessarily looking for it. Again, part of a bigger issue, Boogie has not gotten the ball enough this season. Who has?
Nobody has.
And
I
you've
mean,
got to be able to throw it. And
well, and
block for it.
this also kind of goes in line with Cicada's post that it seems like we're playing not to lose and playing not to lose. Anyway, I know what you're talking about. What we're playing to do is trying to minimize risk because we know that we've got an offensive line that can't hold a block for more than 2 seconds. We've got receivers who aren't getting very good separation consistently, and we got quarterbacks who really they're really poor at decision making. And when they do make a decision, it's 50-50. It's within hand grenade distance of a receiver.
I didn't say that. The other guy did. Duarte quotes Willie Fritz saying, "We're going to get it fixed." I don't know if that is going to soothe anyone at this point.
I think that's a message. I think that's a message to the team that it's going to get fixed. And
I think that's right.
You guys are a week away from being part of the solution. And by that,
one more opportunity.
The exit is what's going to help get a lot of it fixed.
He also says, all this does is motivate my butt more. He's going to have a comprehensive review of this program. They'll get in. We don't know what game time is yet for Saturday. They'll get in Sunday morning, most likely. And then he'll spend a day or so just doing a total review. You have signing day that next Wednesday. And, do you make staff changes at that point? Do you start pushing people towards the portal? Because the portal will open just a few days later. So there's a lot to do. I'll be in Provo with this team one last time. My 11th game of the year. Didn't go to Cincinnati. Did not miss anything.
Cougar tails.
Not ice cream. I don't know that I don't think I've seen ice cream there.
So I think
Cougar tails.
I thought they had their own creamery there.
No, that was Kansas State.
I thought BYU had one too.
I don't recall it. And what they had for basketball was 2 pizzas on the floor and a cooler with some drinks in it. I'm not thinking there's going to be a creamery.
For everybody who is on the Fire Barbie bandwagon, understand that when Willie goes to do his review, if he finds him short, he will get rid of him. He doesn't fuck around with keeping people who are going to be dead wood. He will run through offensive coordinators until he finds what he wants.
That is 100% true. He's done it at every stop that, maybe it just don't work out.
So if he doesn't make a move, then he thinks something that most people don't.
Yeah. Well, he understands this at a way different level than we do. But I will say that the only way I would disagree with you is there is some belt tightening happening here at U of H. There were warning signs put out this week in a PAC meeting at the Board of Regents meeting that, they're going to have to tighten some things and they're not raising the money they need to. Do you hamstring your football coach that way? I don't think so.
You don't cheap out on your supposed cash cow.
I agree, but I'm just saying we just don't know how that math is going to come out. I think you allow him to make the changes he thinks he needs to make. He's got 4 more years on a deal, and you can't undercut him at this point. But I don't know. Scott Doak says, "Do you think Barbet is gone?" I don't have any feel for it one way or the other. What you've done the last 2 weeks and what you did against Iowa State and Cincinnati tell you that maybe he's not going to work out here. But when you also see how bad the quarterback play has been, how bad the offensive line play has been, do you throw that all on the offensive coordinator? Now, throwing routes into the corner of the end zone or the front pylon of the end zone down here, horrible. Should not be anywhere near the playbook, especially when you're on the other side of the on the other hash. But I just don't know if you can blame it all on him. But everyone needs a guy that you can blame things on. I'll be right back, Brett.
I guess you're going to try to fix his burping. Let's see here. Let's see. Fritz has to be sitting here thinking that he can do very well in this conference. I agree. This conference is extremely unique compared to the other P4. Hi, Big Jack. It's unique compared to the other P4 conferences because once we get us and BYU and all the newbies get up to our full share, we're all going to be within about $30 to $50 million as far as revenue goes. And that doesn't exist anywhere in college football. So you don't have a huge spending advantage that we would have normally have faced, like being in a conference with Texas and OU, where they're going to make $150 million more than you. You're not going to be able to compete financially. But once we are a full share, we will be able to compete financially. And as this season has shown, anything can happen. Anything can happen in this conference. It was true in previous years. Big 12 was always somewhat wide open if you can get OU to stumble a little bit. But now it doesn't matter where you are. I mean, wasn't BYU at the bottom last year? Right?
Yeah.
Or right below?
And Arizona State was with the dumpster fire.
Oklahoma State was expected to finish in the top 2, and they haven't won a conference game yet. So, I mean, really, it could be anything. You could finish anywhere in this conference. And, if we took advantage of the opportunities that we had, there's some wins we could pick up with just a little bit better quarterback play.
An offensive line. Talked to Fritz's brother on the sidelines, just thanked him and his family, and told him the real fans know he'll do a great job here. This is Cougar in low-key bragging that he was on the sideline. Good for him. Mississippi State fans hated Barbet and were ecstatic to see him leave. Well, I think they ran out their entire staff, so I don't know if you can.
Mississippi State had to hire somebody really quickly to make up for the death of Mike Leach. They made a really, really terrible hire in bringing in Barbet because you had a roster that took 5 years to build into a run and shoot or whatever air raid spread offense, and then you go to try to run the ball because that's what the coach wanted to do. That's why he hired Barbet.
Yeah. When you hire a guy that wants to run the ball and is focused on tight ends in an air raid, you're probably not. It's not going to work the way you want it to go. And there's way too much money in that league to wait.
Bama got smoked 24-3. So they all that talk about the strength of schedule for Indiana just kind of goes for naught.
Yeah. I mean, you've seen the SEC light themselves on fire today, with Ole Miss losing, with Alabama losing. A&M is in a dogfight. If they would lose that game, I think U of H is still back in it. I think there's a chance you can be that 12th team.
Well, we are mathematically eliminated for the bowl.
So says you.
But hey, it took us to the second to last game of the year for that to happen. I don't think a lot of people were expecting that.
Yeah. Well,
Honestly, I'm not even mad about tonight. I didn't expect to win.
I did. Kind of disappointed that they didn't.
Well, I didn't because Baylor has shown that their quarterback can be competent. And I just don't think this. If nothing else, I have respect for Dave Aranda, and I don't think he's going to let our retarded offense beat him.
I don't think you can say that word.
Sorry.
Yeah. Texas Tech beat Oklahoma State 56-48. That game was
absolutely drunk.
Tech scored 35 in the second half. Oklahoma State scored 34 in the second half. That's wild. I need an Auburn score. Let's see. 31-28 with Auburn has the ball. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like
there's a shot.
Commercial.
Yeah. Probably 2-minute warning right now.
Brad is defeated. I wanted to win and spoil BYU's chances next week. I want to win, but I'm just realistic. I mean, I see what we have, and I just don't, I'm not going to ask a donkey to win a horse race. And that's what we've got right now. Just
donkeys.
Hey, donkeys are lovable. I mean, they are funny. They are great to be around, and
they're funny,
cute, and they're great like that. But if you're expecting them to help you succeed, then unless you're hauling something.
The wise words of Brad Towns.
This is literally an abortion of a season. No, actually, this is a rebirth because last year was the abortion. Last year, there was no hope. There was nothing. At least we have some sort of hope.
You have a head coach that has a plan and is working to put it into action. Will he succeed? I don't know. But the last guy didn't. The last guy had a great day today.
Just think, this time last year, you had 6 commits.
Yeah.
You had
the ship had sailed.
You had 6 commits. The ship had sailed on recruiting. It was over. We've got, 20 now? We're ranked number 40 in 247. I don't know if we hold on to them. We probably will. We'll at least maybe a couple might disappear. I doubt it.
Well, I think it's pretty easy right now to say to these guys, look, there is all the opportunity in the world. You can come in and start. You may not do that anywhere else.
No. I mean, you've got everybody coming in has a realistic chance to get a good amount of playing time. I mean, you got to earn it, but the opportunity is going to be there.
Winston's coming to a game.
I don't know.
Okay, good talk.
I'm over in person.
Does Brad go to the games?
Nope.
I disagree with you on this 100%. I love the atmosphere, just the things you pick up, the people you talk to, being around the players. You prefer the couch, 4, 5, 6 games at a time.
I don't have a couch. I'm not on my couch. I'm at my desk with 2 monitors, a TV, and with split screen on both monitors with games on each one of them.
Okay. That sounds horrible to me. But
Oh no,
you do
no,
you.
you know what's horrible? Walking to the car and sitting in traffic,
Well, good news.
sweating my junk off.
Yeah. Okay. We have gone to another level. Ryan, you see about getting those 2 full shear commits on. They're close to making a deep run. We do a lot of research on the high school players we bring on. We've had 2. We've batted 1,000. I don't want to ruin that number at this point, but I'll look into it. By the way, we're not having a show tomorrow night. I am on mom duty tomorrow, and then basketball. We have availability tomorrow afternoon before they fly out to Vegas. They're flying tomorrow. I didn't realize that. I thought they would be leaving Monday.
That
Go ahead.
burping is hilarious. It sounds like our offense trying to move the ball. I'd say that's pretty accurate.
I have no clue why it's doing that, and I apologize. I'm gonna try to fix it. I'm gonna figure it out before we go to Vegas. It's unacceptable if it sounds like you'll say, and I apologize.
Well, you'll hear it whenever you watch it back.
I'm not gonna watch it if it sounds that bad. What is there to be excited about watching this?
Well, I mean, it's just kind of like our games. It looked like we had a pretty damn solid crowd out there, at least from they weren't trying to remain the old CUSA zoom in close and avoid the stadium shots.
Yeah,
They
CSTV.
They actually allowed those shots.
So I'm just seeing something here.
It's just Brad's stomach after all that Star Pizza. No, but everybody else should go to Star Pizza. Star Pizza only does that to my stomach whenever I don't eat it for a couple of months.
Rashawn Sanford, I thought carried the ball really well tonight. I love his vision on the field, but he only had 8 carries. Can you believe that?
Yes, we decided
I felt like
to try to throw the ball.
But I just felt like he carried the ball so many more times.
He is really showing patience when he gets the ball. And when he gets the ball, he is 0 to 100 in a couple of steps.
DJ Butler had a couple of carries late. I did not hear anything about Burnett and why. I never saw him in the game.
No, I didn't.
He did not have a carry. And I couldn't find him on the sideline. And I just don't know what happened there. We'll try to figure that out this week. Hopefully, when I talk with Willie live, I won't be burping to him, and he'll be able to understand it.
166.
That's tickets sold or tickets distributed.
Right. It was solid, but there were a hell of a lot of Baylor fans. You are correct, but that's why we want to be in this conference. That's why we wanted to be in the Big 12, because we need to win to get U of H fans consistently in the stadium. But when we don't, we like to have teams that are regional that can, come in and sell it and buy a few tickets.
Yeah. All right, Brad, let's wrap this up. I am tired of sitting here burping and farting and whatever else I'm doing. How would you close out tonight with your final thoughts?
Well, that wraps up the home slate. Everybody's lucky that's the last time we get to watch them, but it is also sad to see some of the seniors go. Guys like Patton just came on out of nowhere this year. Morris, it was nice to see him finish his career at U of H strong. Got him a sack, looked good. I don't know.
Keith Cooper.
Yeah,
Hershey McLaurin.
I'm at that stage where I hate to see college football end, but my mind has moved on to next year and hopefully holding this class together and um, seeing if we can add any more. Maybe we can flip a one or two. I did see that on Twitter that Carlisle and Keyshawn Henderson were at the game tonight. So those two guys, Carlisle's coming in next year, Henderson's a year after next. They're both got to be just sitting there. I can start today.
Yeah. When we had Carlisle on before the season, he said to us, I'm still evaluating this staff, which I thought was such a smart thing to say. I'm committed, but I'm still evaluating these guys. And it sounds like his evaluation's going pretty well. And you have to feel good about that. It's just shocking to me that you've gone over 8 quarters without an offensive touchdown.
Again.
I don't know how you take the cavalier attitude with the ball inside that 10-yard line. And they did that throw. And I don't understand. And so, we'll regroup and I'll go to Las Vegas, and this team will practice all week and go to Provo sometime Saturday. And my BYU prediction is it's going to be cold, but not as cold as it looked a few days ago. And so I won't have to deal with that. I haven't had a prediction on this team all year. I don't know how you can predict anything before you score an offensive touchdown.
Well, I've got a prediction, and unfortunately, it come from a bad place. I took one of those kind of half-eyed naps today around noon, where you're asleep but you're not completely asleep. And the little dream that I had was we lost 42-3. So,
you need some roughage in your diet,
dude. I've been having a lot. Like a whole lot. Probably too much. I think too much.
I don't know how you dream things like that. But I don't know how you dream anything.
I don't know. But I've always been able to remember mine because I was told once that you just think about it right when you wake up. And if you think about it, you'll remember it. If you don't, then you will never recall it. Auburn's inside the 10, second and goal, 36 seconds. Watch him throw a pick. Auburn go and do Auburn things.
They just had Zion Chris enter the game. Let's see how this goes.
I mean, they're running the ball like they're just fine with going to OT.
Where are they at? It's third down, I hear.
Inside the 5.
Okay.
Just call timeout.
I mean, you can't do anything stupid right here. Are we just gonna all watch this together? This is fascinating.
Might as well.
YouTube, yeah, why not?
Let's see here.
Put all the comments up about us being gamers.
Do what? Towns is becoming the new Whitley Strieber. I don't know what Whitley Strieber is, but I will Google that. Hope Whitley. I'm allowed to Google that.
You two are gamers. I would be home drinking now. You guys deserve a medal for showing up to. Well, he didn't show up anywhere. He's sitting at home.
Hell yeah, I'm sitting right here at my desk.
And Auburn gets a false start.
That actually would give them more room.
Yeah, it does. But if you're trying to score a touchdown,
well, I mean, if it was us, I'd be happy with it.
Yeah, take a knee.
It's like that shit. There ain't no fucking way we're gonna score from the 5.
We're watching. We're watching. It's got to throw this away. So they'll get a kick to send this to overtime. Shout out to all the people that picked
Ryan, you
Auburn
need to
today.
answer this. Who was that insane character on the sideline pregame?
That's John Jenkins, an
Or
American
Ric Flair.
hero.
Or Ric Flair.
Well, Ric Flair with maybe some. Yeah, he had. I could not get a photo of his shoes that I was satisfied with today. I don't know what you call his hair. I'm not certain it's real hair. I'm not certain it's a hair piece, but it looks like it could be either. Auburn tied it.
They're kicking the field goal.
Oh, well, it's already tied on my screen.
Okay.
How I can't get the fucking internet on this field. I'm burping, but I can get the.
I know he's either John Jenkins is either Ric Flair or Ashley Schaefer from Eastbound and Down. Ashley
Oh my
Schaefer,
goodness.
Schaefer Motor.
Did you figure out your Whitney Cummings or
Who?
Whitley Siebling?
Oh, I'm trying to copy Whitney Strieber.
There's John Jenkins coming at me. So Haas had a point and click camera, and he had a notepad. He was making notes about the guys warming up. And did you find out who he is?
Yeah,
Or who this person is? Oh, well,
Writer?
he's not a writer.
Huh?
He's not a. You're not a writer.
Yeah, it's a writer from doing horror shit. I don't know if I want to read all that stuff and make it even worse.
I think a really good giveaway.
Oh, he's currently the host of the spiritual and science-themed podcast Dreamland, available on a weekly basis on his website, Unknown Country. The program was former companion show to Coast AM with our favorite Art Bell.
I'd never heard of it. How could it be a companion?
I don't know.
It had to be after Art Bell was on in this area.
Art Bell, man. I used to road trip so much, and Art Bell was just perfect.
Wow. Can't say it much better than that.
I mean, you know, that we're talking 1990s prime New World Order pandemic. I mean, everything was about the New World Order. I mean, literally black helicopters all across the skies outside of Denver, the plains of the eastern flatlands of Denver, and the trains, the black trains that have shackles in them in Nebraska.
I just can't do it. Order online.
Art was he was a wonderful road companion.
I don't know. I question my life sometimes. That's going to be it for us tonight. We'll be back Tuesday night after the Alabama basketball game. Your focus now is basketball. You don't have to focus on this anymore. There's a game, but you don't need to focus. Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Saturday. Gonna be a fun week. We'll do a show Tuesday night after the Alabama game. I believe I'm gonna be on the other guy's show Wednesday night because we're not gonna do one. And then Saturday we'll do a show for basketball and football rolled into one from Scenic Provo.
There's a pyramid in Alaska, by the way.
I don't know what that means.
You're just not enlightened, man. You just haven't been red pilled, bro.
I can't believe you're letting my show. What is happening to my life?
we need to have a conspiracy night on on Go Cougs. By the way, dragons are real.
Thank you for taking that off your damn name. I'm so sick of it. I looked it up last night and I felt ashamed
Dragon
for
Den is
having looked it up.
nuts.
Thank you so much for watching. GoCougs.com. Brad Towns, Ryan. See y'all Tuesday night.